Welcome everyone to a session on automata theory and computability. In this session, we'll solve one problem of converting a context-free grammar into Chomsky's normal form. Okay. In the previous lecture video, we have seen what exactly is a normal form and what are the various steps that I need to follow to obtain a grammar or to convert the grammar into its equivalent Chomsky's normal form. Right. So the first step is obviously to remove the epsilon production. So let's directly look into step 1, that is removal of epsilon production. So first I have to identify whether I have any epsilon rule in my grammar. Of course there is one, right? C gives epsilon is an epsilon rule which I need to be removed because that is not accepted as per the Chomsky's normal form standard. Okay. Yeah. So first what do? We have to write a nullable set which is initially which is initially empty. So this is in pass 0, right? Initially this is empty. Now what I have to do, I have to scan the entire context free grammar and look for a rule of this form, that is excuse epsilon or excuse pq or whatever. See, if excuse epsilon, then automatically x becomes nullable, right? So this is a nullable non-terminal. The other way is if x gives pqr, if these three, if everything on the right hand side, okay, if I have only non-terminal on the right hand side and if all these three non-terminals are nullable, then automatically x becomes nullable, right? So if p, q and r, if all these three are nullable, then x becomes nullable. Okay. So in pass 1, I'll scan the entire grammar rule set. Okay, so this is S is not nullable, A is not nullable, B is not nullable, and C gives epsilon. So that makes C as nullable, right? So in my nullable set, so let me write only nullable instead of nullable set. C is added, right? Okay. Now there is a change with respect to the value of nullable in the previous pass. So what I will do, I have to continue this iteration. Again I'll check. Okay. So S again is not nullable. Since only C is nullable, that doesn't make S as nullable because I have A and also some terminals appearing here. So S is not nullable now, right? What about A gives B? So this is also not nullable. B gives C. Okay. So B gives C or B gives small letter c terminal C, right? But this rule satisfies this condition, that is x giving pqr, where everything on the right hand side, since I have only C here, since C is nullable, automatically that makes B as nullable. So I have to add B in my set of nullable. Okay. Okay, I need not have to look into this. This is already seen. Pass 3. Okay, first rule here, S is not nullable even though C is nullable as previously said. Okay, A gives B. Since B is now added to the nullable set, that makes A as nullable. So what I have to do, I have to add A to the list. So my list now contains C, B and A. Okay. So this I need not have to look because that is already seen and B is added, right? B and C is added. Pass 4. So only non-terminal left is yes, right? So let's check. Okay, so first rule yes gives small letter a, C followed by A terminally. Okay, even though A and C are nullable, everything on the right hand side cannot be nullable because I have a terminal, right? So that doesn't make S as nullable. If I had only A and C, capital A and C appearing on the first rule, then S would have been nullable, but I also have some terminals here. So whenever I have terminal on the right hand side, the left non-terminal will not become nullable. Okay, so the content of my nullable set after pass 4 will remain as CBA. Now if you observe, the content of nullable set with respect to the previous pass is same, right? So nullable set after pass 3 and pass 4 are same. So what I have to do, I have to stop my iteration, and this will be considered as my nullable set. Okay, now after obtaining the nullable set, what am I supposed to do? I have to rewrite my grammar. I have to make the changes with my grammar and remove the epsilon production from my rule. Okay, so we have already seen how to write this. So I have to write this as ACA. So the original rule should be written as it is, except the nullable rule or except the epsilon rule, right? Now I have to consider A as nullable. So if I consider A as nullable, I get A, C, A. Then if I consider C as nullable, then I'll get A, A, right? If I consider both A and C nullable, then I'll get A. Okay, so I have to write all the possible combinations here, which we have seen in the previous lecture video, right? So this is about S. And what about A? Yes, if B is nullable, then A should be written as, so no changes here, right? So this will be written as it is. What next? I have B gives C. Okay, so this also will be written as it is. And finally, C gives C, and epsilon rule as said should be removed. Okay, now since this C is nullable, what I can do, I can remove this, and what do I get? I get small letter c, right? So this is the answer after obtaining or after removing epsilon from my rule, right? So this answer, whatever the rule set I get, that should be given as an input to the next step, which is removal of unit production. Now we will apply step 2, that is removal of unit production from my rule. Okay, so this I have to apply to the answer what I got after step 1, that is removal of epsilon. Basically I have to apply this to this rule. Okay, this rule set. Okay, so what's the unit production? Any rule that is a single non-terminal giving another non-terminal is a unit production. So we have to scan the entire rule set to check for these kind of rules, and we have to remove, right? Okay, so the first rule here does not contain any unit production, so no changes required. What about the second one, where I have a unit production, that is A gives B, right? So what I have to do, I have to remove this A gives B, this rule. Okay, and I have to replace this with what B gives. So what B is giving? B is giving non-terminal C or small letter c. Okay, so this has to be added. Okay, so this is A. Okay, so I am replacing this B with what B is giving. Okay, but by adding this rule again, I have induced unit production. A gives C, capital C is a unit production. So again I have to remove this, whatever added need to be removed again, and I have to replace it with what C is giving. Okay, what does C give? C gives small letter c, capital C, and C also gives another another rule. There is one more rule with respect to C, that is C gives a small letter c. But since I have A already giving small letter c, I will not write that. Okay, so if I write that, then I'm having repetitive rules, which is not required, right? Okay. So this is with respect to A, non-terminal A. Now we'll see. So this is clarified. So we'll look into this. So B gives C again is a unit production, which I'll remove and add a rule what C is giving. So I'll get C gives small letter c, capital C, right? Okay, so do I need to add this C again? No, not required, because B already is giving a terminal C, right? So I will not add that. Okay, so these are the three changes what I need to make. Okay, so after removing this unit production, what do I get? I get S gives, so this will be, these rules will be written as it is: A capital letter C, A small letter capital C, A, and A. And the changes made here will be A gives C, capital C or small letter c. Same is applicable with B. It gives C, capital letter C or C. And C is also giving C, capital letter C or C. So this is the answer what I get after removing the unit production from my grammar. Okay. Yeah, forgot to mention. See, A is having a small rule. I mean, it is giving a terminal A, which I have to add here, or which should be retained here. Okay. I don't have anything with respect to B. Okay. So this is the answer what I get after removing unit production from my grammar. Now we have to apply step 3. Now we will apply step 3, that is removal of mixed production to the result what I got after removing unit production. Okay, that is after step 2. So to these rules I will apply step 3. I will remove all the mixed production from my rule set. Okay, what is a mixed production? Any rule that has a right hand side mixture of terminal and non-terminal should be removed, and all the terminals should be converted to a non-terminal, right? Okay, so yes, we'll see the first rule. So here if you observe, there is a mixture, right? So it is A is a terminal and capital A is a non-terminal. So what I will do, I will replace this terminal A with the non-terminal TA, okay, and this AC will remain as it is. And same goes here with the second rule with respect to C. TA, capital A, TA, and last one is TA, TA. Now with respect to A, C is replaced with TC followed by capital C, and this is not a mixture, so I'll retain it as it is. Okay. Same goes with B. B gives TC, capital C or small letter c. And C also it gives TC, C, small letter c. Okay, now there is no definition for TA and TC, so which has to be added here at the end. TA is nothing but A and TC is nothing but C, a small letter c, right? So here after removing the mixed production, I don't have any mixture of terminals and non-terminals. So this is a third step, result of third step. So which has to be given to as an input to the last step, that is removal of long length production, long right side production. Now let us apply step 4, that is removal of long right hand side of the rule set what I got after removing mixed production. Okay, so we'll start with S only. With respect to first rule, let us see whether it has a long length. Yes, so the maximum length should be 2, right? I should have 2 non-terminals, but here I have 4, so this has to be replaced with, what I can do, TA I'll write as it is, and ACTA is replaced with S1. And S1 obviously it has to be written as S1 is ACTA, so I can write this as A S2, and S2 is nothing but CTA. Okay, so this is how I remove the long length from this rule. Okay, now coming to the next one, this rule again. So this again can be written as TA. Okay, and what is CTA? See, CTA is nothing but S2, right? S2, what we have defined here. So I can write this as SQs TA S2. Okay, done again. We'll go to this one. SQs A TA. So TA will remain as it is, and this ATA, I can write it as S3. S3 is nothing but capital A followed by T. Okay. So even this is done. Last, this will remain as it is. It's not a problem because it is in length 2. So this I will write as it is, TA, TA. So what about these rules? See, with respect to A, I have length 2, so not a problem. This is also not a problem. Here also I don't have any problem, right? So these are the new rules or modification to the previous rules that need to be done. Okay. So the final solution would be, so this is with respect to S. Okay. Now, yeah, let me rewrite or reframe this. So this is the final solution. So S gives TAS1, TAS2, TAS3 and TATA. So here see if you observe all the rules here, all the non-terminals, it is in Chomsky's normal form. That is, either the rules are in this way, right? Single terminal, non-terminal giving two non-terminals, or a single terminal, single non-terminal giving a single terminal, right? So this is my final solution for Chomsky's normal form. So let us recall what we followed. So first we removed the epsilon production, and the result of which to be given as input to the next step, which is removal of unit production, after which I applied step 3, which is removal of mixed production, and finally step 4, removal of long right hand side, right? So this is the answer what I get. So these are the 4 steps that I need to obtain, need to follow to obtain the result or to convert the grammar into Chomsky's normal form. Okay. So this is about module 3. We'll come up with more videos of module 4 in the next video lectures. Okay, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.